everyone. It's Michael and no Alex at the moment and
DJ.
Hey, you got your name right this week, mate.
Woohoo!
From Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au. We are missing Alex, but he will be joining us very shortly. As we dropped in the chat there a moment ago, the queue. I made the fatal error this morning in the morning briefing. So we usually get together as a company from about 10 to 9 till 9 o'clock sort of thing, that 10-minute break, and before we launch off, and we go through anything that's happening. Bit of a toolbox meeting, what's happened overnight, anything we need to be worried about stocks and all that sort of stuff, like supplies. And in the meeting I said, it's all right, everyone, don't panic. Prices dropped tonight, like overnight, so it'll be a quiet day, because it usually is when price goes down. We usually have a quiet day. When price goes up, it's usually a busy day. And so price has gone down. I know it's been a chaotic week, but it's okay. Today will be a quieter day. We'll be able to catch up on all those things we've been missing all week and get everything sorted, and it'll be an easy cruise into the live stream. And was I wrong or what? It's been the complete opposite. We even had people queuing up at 7:30 this morning waiting for us here. So I was dumb enough to make that comment, but it's honestly, other than a few gaps during the day, it's been 8, 10 plus people in the queue pretty much all day. So we are battling flat out. And of course, taking myself and Alex out from serving in the shop, that means we're 2 people down, and we're going to... The queue's possibly going to get worse during the live stream than it was beforehand, but we'll see what happens there. So welcome, everyone. As I said, Alex will join us soon. But in the meantime, how are you, Deej?
Oh, yeah, I'm surviving so far. Don't know how, but I am.
Second show jitters are over and done with?
Let's see how we go, shall we?
So DJ's been covering for Ruben while Ruben's been taking some leave and... working on his suntan somewhere. But DJ's been kind enough to step into the role. So, DJ, tell us what you normally do when you're at Bullion Now.
Oh, okay. Okay. I usually do IT. So I help around with the guys in the store and whatnot. You might see me duck in, duck out type of thing. Hope for the best no one talks type of thing, because IT guy, woo.
Yeah, that's right. Well done, mate. Walk across the front of the camera. So, yeah, Deej is one of our excellent IT guys. You've been with us for... How many years have you been with us now, mate?
Technically, going all the way back to 2020.
So you've been with us, coming up 5 years.
Yeah, directly after I finished... actually, during my course after high school, I was working with BN type of thing down at the dispatch center of all places. That's
right. So Deej started off in dispatch with us, and he's kind of worked his way through the system, and he's now one of our main IT guys, and he does an incredible job. So whenever you, I wouldn't say lodge a complaint, whenever you, anything that's happening in the back end that's IT related, it's DJ's fault.
That's what I was afraid of.
What's that complaints email again?
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I was afraid to say what I do.
Yeah. No, he does an incredible job, and usually I cause chaos and DJ comes along and cleans up after me. So yeah, he's very, very good at his job. It's been great. But he's been very kind, and he stepped in while Ruben's been away and dug us out of a hole.
Thank you.
And joined in on the chat as well. So if you see DJ streaking up and down the corridor, don't be frightened of saying hello to him.
I'm frightened to think about what you said about streaking down the corridor, but thank you for waiting for me, I'd say, but I didn't realise we started, so yeah.
How you been, mate?
I think we've had quite a few fans and friends of the show come through today and throughout the week, so I think they can in the comments just answer for me, because we've been
if you've been into the shop this week and you're watching this and you want to make a comment, just comment on what the queue was like when you were here, because sometimes the queue's almost non-existent.
No, it wasn't this week.
The queue wraps around the elevator shaft.
On Thursday was just quieter, but about 50% quieter than today. But since last Friday, it's been just chockers.
But even yesterday, Like, it was quieter during the day, but it kicked off later on in the afternoon. And I know the guys struggled to get out. I know the guys weren't out on time.
Yeah.
So they were certainly
I didn't.
serving people till the end.
When was this?
Last night.
Well,
Yeah.
I was here till about 6:15 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't actually around. I ducked. I was working out of our dispatch centre yesterday, but I was still getting messages from you guys right up until well after 6 o'clock. So I knew you'd been.
Yeah.
I knew you'd had it a bit chaotic.
So how was your week, Michael?
My week has been absolute insanity. Just today typifies my week. I started just after 2 a.m.
Wow.
And so I got to admit, just before live stream, I was feeling a bit saggy around the gills.
Yeah.
But live stream always gets you.
It
you up and
does.
firing.
Last live stream, I think we were firing on all cylinders. That's because about 3 minutes before I came with my coffee and your hot chocolate. Running low today. So we'll see how we go.
It'll be fine, mate. We'll just keep poking you every so often. Alrighty. So welcome to the live stream. The usual chaos and shenanigans. It has been a week, and I dare say that lots of people are. I don't know. It's been a week of highs and I wouldn't say lows, but it's certainly been highs and emotional roller coaster this week, hasn't it? We've seen gold touch all-time highs, both in Australian dollars and US dollar.
Yeah.
We've seen it pull back. It was almost pulling back in Australian dollar terms. It almost pulled back $100 last night.
Yeah. What was interesting is being in the shop and then buying an ounce of gold, and every half an hour or so, say between 20 to 45 minutes, you go, yep. And it's, I'll need your ID. I'll need to create an account. Yeah.
That's right.
And then another hour later, it's like, okay, no.
Don't need ID
cash
now.
under 5. And it's like, it's been really strange, It's strange times. Interesting
when
times.
it oscillates around that $5,000 mark, because it's very confusing. But yeah, it's what's your take on the? If you had to summarise the week, what would be your take on it?
Insane.
Oh, okay.
Look, in terms of just rushing around, because like doing the pick, helping the shop, and all the things in between, it's just been so busy.
Yeah.
And of course, Ruben's away. Andy, we lost Andy. Not for the long term, but it was from pre-booked annual leave, like from ages ago, and things just coincide. And then someone had sliced the finger, not here at the other side. So it's like
no, it wasn't on. It wasn't on premises.
From the other side, I should say. Yeah.
Yes.
So relax, work cover. If you're watching,
That's
it's
right.
not. Wasn't on our premises. Wasn't during work hours.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Yeah.
I always stress about those things because, sharp knives and big vault doors and all that sort of stuff. It's always a stress.
But yeah, so that's that hasn't made things easy as well. So
yeah. Oh dear, what a week though. So we've seen, like I said, record prices. What's actually, Deej, why don't you launch off with some questions if you've got any picked out?
I do, but while I look for the names or whatnot, hey Alex, do you mind moving your mic to face the other direction?
It's picking me up, is it?
What I'll do is, this is why I like to come here earlier.
Type of thing, because I think we're getting an echo on your mic for Michael type of thing.
Yeah,
so if
because
we
I'm
just
too loud.
make a point the other way, we might be able to fix that.
There we go. How's that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Right. There was a question for Ruben, which I guess I'll answer, even though he's not here.
That's all right. We can get him into trouble, mate. It's the best time to answer when he's not here.
Yeah, totally. Where was that? There it is. Mark Newcomb. Hey, Ruben, could you thank Sean and Sylvia for getting me out of a bind last week? Tell them I got the kidney pump. Thank God I stocked medals. Oh, jeez. So, good job, Sean and Sylvia.
Yeah, good stuff. I heard about this one, so hope it's all working well for you, mate.
Next one will be Michael. Any news on the completer bars? Just waiting for those to get my stored bullion sent.
I believe they've just hit customs. I may stand corrected on that. They've certainly been shipped, but they're not too far away. But I believe they've hit customs. So hopefully next week you should see them up on the website and available.
Nice.
Nice little suggestion from Peter Vick. Michael will need to have a monitor outside shop to broadcast a live stream. A little entertainment.
We've tried to work out ways we could do that because it's actually a what do they don't call it a public area, they call it a combined area. So like everyone has access to it. So we can't start putting things out there. Yeah, communal area. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, the guy with English as his fourth language has to help you out. Come on,
mate. Senility, it's setting in early, I can tell you. So the communal area, the Body Corp's got very strict regulations on what we are allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. And one of the things we're not allowed to do is stick chairs out there, which we've tried once before and got smacked for, and also putting advertising material out there other than a banner at the top.
So I'm just picturing. I think you used to watch wrestling. The old wrestling and what they do with chairs? No, because that's what I'm picturing. If the crowd goes a bit rowdy, so maybe that's the reason. Bit of WWF.
Yeah, that's right.
See, I went a different direction with the WWE, with all the people holding up the different signs for the wrestlers and whatnot. Yeah. And just going, as with Ham going, yeah.
You're talking 90s, I'm talking 80s. Those were more interesting times, yeah.
Good stuff. Oh, we got Kate from Finance in, so if you've got any finance questions,
what's that?
Kate's here, so you can pitch them in as well. There you go. Just drop Kate in the middle of all of this.
And she's out. There we go.
Right. She's left the building. All good stuff. So the big question is, what on earth is going on with spot price?
Well, I would dare say it's to do with a lot of panic around tariff news.
A little bit.
I know that was on social media like quite a bit. Not just with I'm just talking in general. Uncertainty and is especially with affecting people into bullion dealers, stackers and so forth. And even though I believe it was in the last 24 hours, we got confirmation about. I don't know if you want to jump into it now. About the exemptions. For Australian anyway. And again, this will be. We're talking about Australia. I don't know about
this is
countries, but I would assume it would be.
Yeah. Do you want to flick up that page that I sent you earlier on, Deej? So for those that have been, I don't know, living out in the sticks somewhere and haven't caught up, so President Trump announced all the tariffs the other night, and everyone had a major panic. And there's a few things I probably want to bring up in all of that, but. There is 37 pages of exemptions, and we trolled through that looking madly for if gold, silver, etc. was exempt. And on page 31, about halfway down the page, I can't read the numbers because my eyesight's not that flipping good. Actually, I might be able to see it on my screen if I put my eyes on. We can see there, so 7106910 code, so that's the... I can't think of what HT code stands for, but the code there is silver bullion and Dore bars. Then we've got the one below that, which is gold, non-monetary, and bullion and Dore. And then the platinums and the rhodiums as well, and the palladiums. So all of those are exempt from all of these tariffs that have been introduced. But interestingly enough, that has caused further chaos. In a lot of ways. So we've had, and something that none of us ever thought about, we had a lot of some of our suppliers, I shouldn't say a lot, we had some of our international suppliers start refusing to take orders because they're not sure how all of this is going to play out. So I know we were talking about tariffs and how that's affected the price, but I guess I've skewed the conversation slightly towards stock levels and availabilities. At the moment, it's not like, don't jump that. You can get rid of that thing now if you want, Deej. Don't jump the gun on this. Don't push it too hard. But we are starting to have supply restricted, not so much because of the obvious things, but more because people are starting, like companies, suppliers are now starting to panic, saying we're not taking orders until the world works out what it's going to do. So we still have plenty of stock. Don't run hard with this, like I'm saying. If you want to turn up and buy an ounce of gold or an ounce or a kilo of silver or 100 kilos or anything along those sort of lines, we can absolutely supply it. But what we're going to start seeing, if this continues more than the last couple of days that it has, if this continues for any period of time, we're going to find it more difficult to start getting hold of certain types of gold and silver. So, for example, right at the moment, we have PAMPs in stock. I don't know, once these run out, I don't know if we're going to be able to order any more. So absolutely, you'll still be able to buy, Perth Mint gold and silver and that type of stuff. But if you specifically want PAMP for tuna bars, I don't know. I literally don't know at the moment whether we're going to be able to order them or not. Because we went to place an order and they said, no, sorry, go away.
Wow. It's also interesting what we were talking about this morning before work about with what's affecting the price drops in the liquidation of gold.
Yep.
From different companies' balance sheets, because it is so liquid. So when they have to get quick cash in, it's one of the first things they liquidate. So that will have a major effect if a lot are doing it around the world at the same time. So
that probably won't affect supplies because a lot of that is paper contracts. So what if you don't know what Alex is referring to now? A lot of the large investment companies and traders around the world, they keep their excess cash in gold contracts particularly, but the gold and silver market, because it's a very, very liquid market. It's a very large market, so it can swallow larger amounts in one hit. And we see this happen whenever there's a decent fall on stock exchanges around the world. There are margin calls, and these guys face major margin calls, so they have to dump their gold and silver, particularly their gold contracts, almost instantaneously, because they have usually up to 24 hours to fulfill their requirements of their margin call. And that's what we're assuming last night was. I'm still waiting for the data to come through, but it looks like that's what last night was all these traders dumping their gold contracts to extract the cash so they could then pay their margin calls. We see this happen semi-frequently. Again, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not saying that this is exactly what's happened, but it looks like this is what's happened. So usually we see a correction, on the way back up very shortly afterwards. And in the Australian market or in our hemisphere's market that's operating right at the moment, that's what we're seeing. So gold is edging its way back up. Silver's edging its way back up again. It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. If there's any profit-taking, rollover, those types of things or protections kick in. So people don't want to hold open positions over the weekend. But, at this stage, I'd say we've seen that short-term roll.
Creating a lot of turbulence in the shop, especially like when you... So we're dealing with two markets, as we've said numerous times, like out of the US. So we're dealing with gold price, actual gold price, and we're dealing with currencies.
Yeah.
So that will have a different effect, with us, affecting us and our shop and the perception of people, because then, sometimes people panic and it's a currency movement rather than gold price movement.
And that was a lot of last night, because we saw gold drop $20-ish, $20-$25-ish USD. But that impacted the Australian price by $80 to $100 because not only did we have that drop in gold price, but we also had a strengthening of the Australian dollar or a weakening of the US dollar, depending on how you want to look at it, which drove the price up in local currency terms. So, massive movement there in Australian dollars. And it was the same in a lot of other currencies around the world as well, if you were dealing with those. So we got double whammied. Yeah. So very, very interesting times at the moment. The only thing you can guarantee is volatility. It's the sort of thing where you take advantage of it. If you see the price ease and you're in a position to buy, and I'm absolutely not saying go all in because there's been a $50 or $100 dip, but certainly go, look, I was going to buy, maybe I commit 25%, maybe I can commit 50% of the funds that I was going to put in there anyway. I'll commit that today while the price is down. If it drops a bit further, well, great. I've still got some dry powder and I can pick up some more. Alternatively, if it kicks back up again, well, I've still got some dry powder. I can still buy some more, but I've secured some at a much lower price. So,
this is just a personal thing. Do I do it? I don't even look at that in myself, in my own situation. I know, well, I have a certain sight in the future and potential things that might happen in the future geopolitically and economically and everything. So I just buy when I can.
Yeah.
And I guess I do a lot of that dollar cost averaging. Unfortunately, in my case, I average a high dollar cost, it seems to, whenever I buy it, then it drops. So that's the only problem. So it's a bit different with
Murphy's
my
dollar cost averaging.
Yeah, it's a Alexanian or whatever. Maybe there's a new term, dollar cost averaging. But yeah.
I actually didn't see it hit 4.8k overnight. I didn't see it fall below 4,900, but I could be wrong on that in Australian dollar terms. Because despite popular belief, I don't sit there and watch the charts all day and all night. Well, it does feel like it sometimes. Look, dollar cost averaging is a good way to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm of the belief that dollar cost average, absolutely, but take advantage of dips as they come along. Keep a little bit of cash to the side for those occasional dips, and then when they come, you can dollar cost average a little bit lower with a little bit more ammunition than if you're just buying it, once a month. Or
interestingly, I found that my my own form of dollar cost averaging also works terribly with cryptocurrencies. 'Cause I had to withdraw it at a certain date, and a month, 5 weeks before I could withdraw it, it just tanked like 22%. And all the years previously, I didn't care. It was whatever it's doing. So yeah. Tread carefully.
Looks like we've tripped somebody up with the buyback, and I'm just looking what the description actually says on the buyback quarter ounce. I think it was up there.
Okay,
yeah, the buyback quarter ounce. So I'll just have a quick squiz at that to see what we've written on there. But you'll find with buybacks, unless it specifies coin or bar along those sort of lines, as we kind of went through last week or the week before, some of the ones do say buyback or random. I think it is buyback random Perth Mint coins. So that's kind of leading you into what it is. But other ones that just say buyback quarter ounce or whatever, it can be absolutely anything. And I'm just trying to bring up this quarter ounce one.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's showing quarter ounce coin, but Bet & Co.
Yeah, I know they've got Bet & Co's on there, but I thought it actually said.
I'm just writing a message now to see if they can get sorted.
Yeah, I thought it actually said somewhere on there that these are random. They're not necessarily what's in the picture sort of thing. But I can't find it in a hurry. I can never pedal that fast, and I can't remember what the code is for them. So I'm struggling a little bit.
I can play interference if you want, because someone actually asked me a question.
Oh, go for it.
Well, DJ, this is from Smitty911. While DJ is there, will the website have a live option to switch existing orders to collect from the new store? Short answer, yes. Long answer, oh boy, I'm going to have fun trying to work out the logic behind that.
The actual answer would be before June? But we're not stating which year.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as you're stating the year, I'm okay.
I've learned from Michael, listening to Michael in the live stream.
Yeah, that'll be done by Christmas. I'm just not specifying which Christmas.
But yes, the plan is to have on the website at checkout have more options in your the click and collect type of thing. You've got free storage, collect and store CBD, collect and store Packy, collect storage, and then shipping. It'll be just there. You can select it there at the end of the day.
There's no wonder you confused there. I can't remember who asked it, but it's no wonder you're confused about the advert for the quarter ounce, because I am too, because it's headed buyback gold coin quarter ounce.
Yeah, but it's got a picture.
The picture is a Bet & Co bar, and in the description it says, "Please note these are buyback bars, and as such, packaging may show wear and tear."
Okay. Well.
So my apologies. Yep. We need to get that fixed up.
Yeah, I just sent a message now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You've got someone that'll do it.
I didn't say that. I just sent a message now. I'm not sure where that message has gone. Who's going to see it? But I've sent a message. No, I've sent it to the relevant parties.
Yeah, good. Oh dear!
I just want to. You do. Just want to say, as I was trying to sort the internet, anyway, I'm back on track. I saw who was it? The Metal Inquisitor saying earlier, "Nice to meet." Yeah, it was nice to meet you and put a face to the handle in store. And congratulations on scoring and actually picking up one of the UV Germania.
Oh, did we have some?
No, he pre-ordered. As soon as it went up, it pre-ordered. But there is one that I actually took off a pick because someone bought two and it slipped through because it was bought something.
Sin.
But it's been picked up, so they'll be getting an email. So there'll be at least another one going up. We'll see how we're going to do that. But yeah, it was one per.
You realise you
customer.
just crashed the website, don't you? You've said
It's
one
not,
more
it's
going
not,
up.
It's not up on the website. We'll see. Maybe it'll go up or somewhere else or in store. But it's going to be cancelled. And yeah, so it is one per customer.
We're only cancelling one of them, not both of them?
No, one.
You're generous, mate.
I am.
Just
but-
need to play the gif of the guy sweating because that's what I am right now. It's just, oh, jeez.
Okay, Andrew's corrected me up there. So apparently the gold chart shows 48.04. So it really did cop a hammering overnight. I must have been asleep at 12:10. Must have been that brief half an hour window that I had a snooze last night. So Drogue's bringing up an interesting point there. The gold-silver ratio is at 98. That is huge.
Wow.
So this coming from the guy who said it'll never break 100.
Yeah, and me being the gold bug that I am, and that's looking really good.
It's looking really good.
Really, in terms of being a bargain buy in comparison, and then hopefully switching out later. But you never know in the crazy times we live.
Yeah, 100's my trigger point where I start heavily, I prefer gold. I'm a bit like you. I'm a bit of a gold bug on that side because it gives me security in my old age because I'm getting closer and closer, unfortunately. But at kind of that 100 mark, 100 to 1 mark, you really the argument for silver starts to become a heck of a lot stronger than the argument for gold. And I'm absolutely not giving financial advice here, but it's sort of like. Personally, I will start picking up far more silver than I will gold. I'll still keep buying gold, but I will start to lean into silver at that point.
I'll do that as well when you go through the staff silver buybacks.
Oh, man. So the staff get, we try and encourage the staff to buy 10 ounces of silver every month, and they get it at spot price. That's one of the staff perks. And they know how to do it. They pick out what they want out of the buybacks that come through or whatever it is, and they put it in the bag and they put it in the box for staff. And at the end of every month, I draw it all off and send out the invoices to everyone, and everyone pays it, and off they go. And I'm not sure I've even done it this year yet. Never mind.
Yes, no, you haven't. So again, he does it at the end of every month, but I'm not saying.
That's right. I'm 3 or 4
Not
months
every month,
behind
yeah,
at the
yeah.
moment.
A month, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been fun and games on that one. So yeah, your silver investment's buried in there, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, dear. It's just as well I go back to the spot price at the end of each month
That's
and
really,
do it.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, that is very good. All right.
Mr. Anderson's touching on a really valid point, quite an animated discussion I got into overnight. So, Mr. Anderson, Michael, are you mindful that a US recession will bring the silver price down while considering stacking silver? That's really a really valid point on there, because what we sometimes forget as stackers, because we think the whole world revolves around stackers, and I'm as much at fault of this as anyone else. Unlike gold, where gold is almost exclusively an investment metal and very little of it is actually used in industry, silver is halfway to being the complete opposite. So 2/3 of it is used in industry and 1/3 of it, and I'm using really rough numbers here, but near enough to 2/3 in industry, 1/3 in the stacking community, or investment, I should say. So what that means, one of the reasons gold traditionally, although you'd call me a liar the last couple of years, why gold is considered to be a more stable asset is because it's an investment grade product. So everyone from you and I through to central banks, we don't tend to trade it in its physical form anyway. You tend to buy it and put it in the back of the safe and forget about it for the next 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, generations even. So there's not this constant excess drought of the market because people are just buying it and stacking it away. Silver has a little bit of the other problem. So you do have stackers there that are holding it, but you also have manufacturing or industry there that is using it up every day. And quite often they'll go either, the price is cheap, I'll buy more in, or the price is expensive, I'll reduce the amount I'm holding at the moment. If the economy is booming in that area, they're buying it, and then they're not. I wouldn't say they'll pay any price, but if the economy is booming and they can increase the price of the product that they're selling, that they're using the silver to produce, then they don't mind paying extra for it. But the reverse is also there. If the price is down, but the economy is not booming, we're moving into recession or, heaven forbid, a depression scenario, then it's almost irrelevant what price silver is, because they're not going to take it, because they've got no use for it, because no one's buying their end product. So it comes back to economics 101. It's that supply-demand ratio really kicking in there. So if the US goes into recession, or the world goes into recession, because that's what they're now talking about with this tariff war, that it could drive the whole world economy into a recession. If it does that, then it really could cause the price of silver and platinum particularly, because platinum is almost the mirror image or mirror reverse of gold, in that 99% of it is industrial based and 1% of it is investment based. So if industry has no use for the silver, there will be an oversupply of silver and platinum, and it could very well drive the price, I won't say artificially down, but could certainly have more effect on it and drive it down quite a bit. So a really good thing to keep in the back of your mind. I'm really glad you brought that one up, Mr. Anderson, because as stackers we forget that way too often.
Yeah. And touching on that, Senor Ding Dong, surprised platinum has held up relatively well on the same note.
Yeah, look, I was a little surprised, but having said that, and I've been banging on about this for a couple of years now, I'm still a big believer that platinum is undervalued. It was driven down because of because of a lot of reasons actually, but one of the main ones being that changeover several years ago between platinum and palladium-based catalytic converters, and also VW partly blaming platinum for their environmental issues that they were having at the time. So there was a big switch over into palladium replacing platinum, which I would argue artificially drove the price down. And I think we're just seeing the other side of that, where that oversupply, again, supply-demand ratio, that oversupply into the market has basically been bled out now. And we're sort of getting back to a point where the demand for platinum is now kind of equal to the supply. So, it's holding. Industry is holding it. It's needing it for the various new products that are coming out. So, irrespective of what's going on, it will maintain, or it should maintain. It has a higher chance of maintaining its price to do that.
Okay.
I feel like I've been talking flat out for the last half an hour.
I just
Bit of a mouthful, I guess.
Yeah. Some easy ones. Coach Tarley, how's the huge pallet of silver coins moving? They're pretty much moved. We're actually looking around for another pallet load, if I'm completely honest. We're talking to a few suppliers to bring in a couple of big lots, actually, if we can.
A fun question I found was, how did everyone get into stacking? I believe it's been cut and covered, but another quick overview might help.
Actually, I still never know how to answer this question.
I can tell you how I got into it.
Yeah, tell us how you got into it, dude.
The end. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
I had no idea about bullion, gold bars, silver bars, whatnot. I was one of those ignorant people just like, that's a good bar and movie type of thing. Then I started working here and I went, okay, how much is in my hand right now?
Yeah.
Oh geez, I knew it was expensive, but ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
it's
And then you start to see it go up, and you start to understand it a little bit, and
Like, I even remember my first coin. It was the 2-ounce Kraken from the Canadian.
from-
what a
the
great start.
Canadians.
That was one of the best and shortest lived series out there. I think it was
right.
2 coins. It was the 2020 Kraken, I believe that was 2020.
Yep.
And the 2021 Werewolf.
Yeah.
In both yeah.
I remember packing one up for a customer, and I went, Sylvia, do you mind calling up Michael so I can try to get one?
Yeah. I got my start in 2003 when I went to visit my grandma in Serbia, and got a little bit of, like, basically she passed on everything from her grandfather and herself to myself and my sister. And that's been sort of, that sort of kick-started things off in the consciousness, and then just being aware of it for a long time, looking at it but never really jumping. A little bit in 2010, and then really 2020. And while it's always been in my mind to get, and you're watching and but it's always tomorrow, next week, next month. Yeah. I mentioned before looking at the Perth Mint website in 2008 and seeing, like, I still remember kilo of gold, like the coin was 24,000. I was going to buy that, when they still had those beautiful palladium emus and the platypus and and it was a lot harder to buy then because there were no shops like this around. And then it really started in 2020 with everything. Yeah. And hasn't stopped. It's just gotten, stacking is just, it's been great.
Even jumping in at 2020, I can go back to when I used to be able to buy it for $400 an ounce and even $300 an ounce. I can remember that. But even getting in 2020, you would have been paying late teens, early $2,000 an ounce, somewhere around there?
Early low twos. I know
Low twos.
I paid, I think it was the first Perth Mint order I had with the silver kilo was $770, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
For a kilo, which concur. When I first started, it was like low 2000s type of thing. Like going through it and I see like a 2 ounce, I went, wow, $4,000 for a 2 ounce. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got into it through a backhanded way, really. I started collecting coins. I came from the dark side. I was a numismatic collector. And then it kind of led into, gold coins and silver coins and that sort of stuff. And then, I guess, an understanding of gold and what it actually meant in a coin sense. I've always had a bent for money. It's always been an interest outside of the obvious spending it and that sort of stuff. But even down to just the designs and that. Even now, I will spend far too much money. Just ask my wife. I will spend far too much money on a pre-Federation banknote that doesn't even have a gold content or a silver content.
You got to bring some of those in for a show and tell, I reckon, if people are interested. Yeah,
you should do.
Even if it's out of I'd love to see that.
Some of them are just beautiful.
As a kid, I used to collect coins and stamps.
Yep.
And then again, it was late 2020, and I'm like, hey, I've got all those coins, so I took them all out, and then I didn't have an XRF or access to, so it was painstakingly going through Numista and all those websites, but not many were silver. Most of them were like,
copper nickel.
Yeah, copper nickel. Yeah. But did have a few. So that's how it started, and now, funny enough, it's gone back to like numismatic. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
Senior Dingo, I remember similar things. I got interested when I read on a banknote, I promised to pay the bearer the sum of X number of pound, and asked my mum what it meant. It was about 7. I had similar experience where the Australian dollars used to say that as well. In fact, I can even go back when the US ones particularly, but when some of them used to say, we'll give you $5 or the equivalent in gold sort of thing.
Yes, so that's what I got into recently with what they call silver certificates or gold certificates. And just looking up like particularly in Eastern European history and Serbian and like in the Balkans, and I picked up some, and they're expensive. Like to find a good condition one, they're pretty expensive. And I've only got silver ones. The gold ones are even like they're insane prices, and some of them are graded. So it's a dangerous path. It's a dark, there's a dark side going down that way.
It absolutely is, because you'll sit there and go, "Wow, a kilo of silver, that's expensive, $1,700. Wow, this coin that's got absolutely no metal, like precious metal content. Yeah, I'll pay $2,000 for that. No worries at all."
But I'm not paying $2,000, but I like to see it as part of the bullion history and part of money history. So I use it also as an educational tool. and sort of like a retrospective of how things came along in a timeline of money when money was money. Yeah.
So I've got a $2001 coin. It's called it just looks like an Australian like gold coin, $1.
Yeah.
It's not got no gold in it for any of the internationals that are watching. It's copper nickel, but it's spray painted a gold colour. And there's eight. It's worth 10 grand now because it's a mule.
You've got one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've brought it in a couple of times and we've shown it, but it's the only reason it's worth so much is because they used accidentally, and the Royal Australian Mint refused to acknowledge them for a number of years, but they used a 10-cent Queen's head on it instead of the dollar Queen's head on it.
Oh, okay.
On the
Yeah.
obverse.
Yeah.
And they estimate somewhere around about 400 of them got out into the wild through the, is it Jupiter's Casino? The one in Perth, whatever that's called.
Wow. Not sure.
And it sounds like it came through from
Wow.
there. And they're now worth
So-
an absolute fortune.
So just about your mic, I think, is everything okay?
I was trying to do it discreetly, but if you're going to just call me out like
Well,
that,
it's a bit hard to be discreet when people are commenting in the chat. So
that too. But anyways, could you guys try separating your mics a bit? Because Michael's got a bit of an echo going on.
all right, how's that?
Fine, I'll sit over here.
Okay.
Be like that. See if I can.
Hey, all this talk of 2020 is just giving me flashbacks. It's just like how, social distance, people, and whatnot.
That's right. The bullion, the silver hologram bar is so expensive. I actually don't know which one we're talking about now. Silver hologram bars.
Sorry, what was that?
So JMac is
Who was
saying,
that,
why
Jay?
are those bullion now silver hologram bars so expensive? I actually don't know which ones they're talking about.
I'm not. If it's that
Could
one,
be. Give
it's
us more information,
yeah.
JMac, and I'll see if I can answer why
that,
it's so expensive.
if it is anything with packaging and that will attract GST in Australia. If you're in Australia buying for within Australia, so that'll already increase the price point by 10%. And for our international viewers, so if you do buy from overseas, you won't pay that Australian GST tax on it. So, yeah.
Look, it's not an expensive coin until you're paying many multiples of its. Like
Yeah.
I said, literally, you should see some of the coins I pay for. And Matt's far worse than I am. He's fair game to spend big money on coins that have, to you and I, we would say that they've got no real value behind them. But
Well, there was blame from Matt as well for getting someone obsessed with the 50-cent pieces I just read. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. We do get to see, they're quite popular, actually. I'm surprised at just how popular the 50-cent pieces are. For those overseas not familiar with what we're talking about, it's the Australian 1966 round 50-cent piece.
Oh, yeah, with the 80%
With
silver.
80% silver, yeah. And we do see them quite a bit come through. And, yeah, quite a few going out as well.
Yeah, lots going out. It sounds like we might have some mic issues going on, so I don't know if we can do anything about it, guys. The Sydney Expo bar,
Yeah.
$220 for a 2 ounce. So there's a couple of, not issues, that's too strong a word, there's a couple of things going on there. So it's a limited production bar, there's very few of them left actually. I'm hoping we've actually still got some left. Anyway, there's not many of them left. If they're still on the web, we must have 1 or 2 left, I think. So the limited edition. So when you produce anything limited edition, it puts the price up. Not just because it's limited and it's worth more, but because it's limited, so you can't do you can't amortize or depreciate the production costs. Or the setup costs and things like that over a greater number. We're limited to over the couple of hundred that we actually produce for them. We also had them produced by Germania Mint in Poland. So there was a bit of toing and froing there and shipping them out here and those types of things. So that all adds to the price. And then to add insult to injury, the ATO wants their cut of the GST on the top. So it certainly does push the price up there. So... yeah, it is what it is. But they are an absolutely stunning coin. I was amazed, or bar, I should say. They're not a coin. I was amazed with how well they came up and how well Germania produced those. And the packaging's great as well. But the coin itself with that photo on there
And
is
that
just
photo,
brilliant.
for those that aren't aware, is what Ruben took when he was in Sydney.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
year before, I believe.
Yeah. So it's a big shout out to Ruben on that one. He did a great job, and we produced it on the bar, and I think he's pretty chuffed about that. Just quietly.
Yeah, he was, but that was really well done.
Yeah. So I hope that gives you a bit of an explanation to it. Will the Queen's Beast bars attract GST? I don't believe so. Silverista. I'm from the States and just want to say my favourite pieces are from Perth. I've said this before. I'll say it many more times. Perth Mint is one of, if not the best producer of coins and bars in the world. The quality, the designs. They don't cheap out on anything, and they don't get it right every single time. But overall, they are absolutely if they're not the best, they are very, very close to being the best in the world. If you ever want to spark a bit of a disagreement between Matt and I, it's usually between that. We both acknowledge that the Royal Canadian Mint and the Perth Mint are the best in the world. Then it's usually an argument of which one is better. And look, Matt believes the Canadians are, and I have to say I
do love the Canadian Mint in their products, but I'd say hands down for me, it's Perth Mint. I have two, I guess. Okay, I have three. All right, Government Mint, it's Perth Mint.
Yeah.
That's but then it's a big play between Europe and US, so it's Germania and Scottsdale. Yeah.
Look, I'd agree, and look, I part of me hopes Scottsdale's watching, and part of me hopes Scottsdale's not watching. I think it's just slipped a little bit in the last year or so at Scottsdale. Some of the quality that I've seen coming through, it just doesn't. I just don't think it's quite up there to where it was, 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So disappointed about that one. But absolutely, Germania are right up there.
This is so Government Mint, favourite Government Mint?
Yep.
Perth Mint.
Perth Mint, absolutely.
Favourite European Mint?
Yeah, Germania.
Favourite North American Mint? That would be Scottsdale.
I'll get back to you on that one.
American, all right, we'll go American.
I'll get back to you on that one. But certainly the Perth Mint is world class. So I fully support that Silverista. Absolutely. Still getting a bit of echo on mine, but I think hopefully it sounds like DJ might have got that sorted. Jimi Hendrix coin. Have you seen that one coming through? This is a numismatic coin for those that don't know.
I've heard about it. I've heard its creating ways, but I haven't seen it.
Good coin. Really good design on it. Of course, it harks back to my younger days. So there's probably a bit of bias in there somewhere. But that's a great coin and selling really, really fast. It was only released Tuesday. I don't think they've either just arrived or we're just about to get them in stock.
Nice.
And they have sold. We might still have a couple left. At Little Coin Shop, but if we do, that's the last of them. They are going like hotcakes.
Talking about your old days, I had a Jimi Hendrix CD that was CD plus G. So if anyone in live chat even knows what I'm talking about, drop a line. I want to see if you know what the CD plus G was. Not many had them, but yeah.
Desi, you got to love the gold Libertad. In fact, I love the silver Libertad as well as the gold. I think they do a great job.
Okay, favourite things. So, favourite government-issued silver is actually the Libertads for me.
Oh.
I can't... Yeah, that's hands down. That's not even a contest.
Yeah.
And my self-managed super fund is a proud owner of a reverse-proof 1 ounce gold.
Oh, wow.
And that I've never seen one before, so I picked it up and I was like, "This is just incredible."
Yeah.
But it's also going to be very difficult to liquidate. So I'm getting all this in my super to help fund my retirement, but I don't think I'll be able to let go of it.
You just have to keep working. What have you got in the box, mate?
All right. What have I got in the box? So actually, you can talk about this. This is what you showed me that's come through, and I thought it's interesting to.
This cracks me up.
Okay, so we had these.
You might have to.
Yeah, we'll do so.
I'll get these out of the way so we don't break anything.
But these are buyback silver kilo bars that have.
So you can see they are actually, you probably can't. You might be able to see on that one if I hold it close enough. So it's a standard ABC 1 kilo silver bar. But as you can see, it's had a bit of a life.
Yeah, and what do people do with these, Michael?
Well, these ones have been painted black.
Yeah. Why?
Why would you paint them black? Well, they have been used as a doorstop.
Hiding in plain sight.
Hiding in plain sight. That's exactly
so
right.
I thought we've talked about it previously where someone used the 1,000 ounce bar, I believe it was, of silver bar, and painted it black and used it as a doorstop at a business for years.
Yeah.
No one's even looked at it.
Thousands of people walk past it every day.
And yeah, so when this came through, I said, Mike, hang on, just we've got to showcase this. This is the first time I've seen it like this, but I thought it was pretty cool and a cool little piece for show and tell.
Yeah, we get all sorts of things sold back here, but these ones, I had to chuckle when these came through. But yeah, they've literally painted them all black. This one's probably the first one I had was probably worse, but yeah, they're all been painted black. And they've used them as doorstops, so good fun. But we've seen people use all sorts of things. So the 1,000 ounce bar is a doorstop, and they literally paint them black, so you can't really tell what it is. I haven't seen them for several years, but I had a couple that used to buy 1,000 ounce bars and 100 ounce bars, and she was a mad keen crocheter, and she used to crochet these ducks to sit over. Their 1,000 ounce bar. So you'd wander around their house and people would say, "Oh, I love the duck, crocheting you've done. Isn't it fantastic?" Not realising that they were looking at, I don't know, probably a dozen different 1,000 ounce bars spread out around the house that were being hidden by these crocheted ducks.
That is fantastic. I'll touch upon something in the comments, and that's also in the box. Metal Inquisitor. Chocolates. Well, this was the actual, what I was talking about. On stream a few times.
Hang on, there's a rattle in there. Is it still live?
Hang on. No, it's gone. No, it's gone. But this is what we're talking about when we're talking about the amazing Perth Mint chocolate bars.
Oh, you think their gold and silver coins are amazing?
Look, when we were in Sydney for the Gold Conference, and we're a couple of stands away from Perth Mint, and went over, introduced myself, we're talking, and then 90% of the conversation revolved around their chocolate.
Yeah, love your gold. Where's your chocolate bars?
I was going there with, we'll touch base with Perth Mint and the stuff, and it was all great, and talking about different designs. And we were mainly talking about the chocolates and how much feedback they're getting from it and the sources they're using. And yeah, but that's basically, if you ever go to a show and you see this, just
if you're
go
there,
make friends.
If they've got a Perth Mint stand there and they've got their chocolate, ask them, have you got the chocolate bars here? And if they have, grab them. They are the best. And look, as you can tell by my shape, I'm a chocolate aficionado. These, mate.
Yeah, they're on another level.
But anyway, that's next level stuff.
Yeah, that's that. I'll let you jump in on yours, and I've got something.
Oh no, I don't think we've finished these yet because there's been a couple of questions on it. No, it's not Link Chocolate. It's actually made by a local company in WA, a chocolate manufacturer over there. For the life of me, I wish I could remember that name. It's possibly even written on it, which it's not. No, it isn't. It's something. I know what I call.
I remember what I remembered it as. I know he might go all my sponsorship chances with Cadbury, but I call it a Cadbury killer because it's just one of the smoothest, nicest, lots of chocolate. Yeah.
I only eat Cadbury. Well, no, I eat Choc Sultanas, as everyone knows. I eat Cadbury Caramello and the Turkish Delight from Fry's Turkish Delight. These kick 'em for 6. I can't believe it. Like, I never thought in my whole entire life I would ever say that, but it's...
And now we go from this gold to... This is something I bought back in the store. Again, we were flat out and we see a lot of interesting...
That's the one. Whistler's chocolate.
Seeing a lot of interesting things come through. I bought these back myself and had an interesting conversation with the gentleman who sold this back. But I'll pass this on to you and see what you think that might be.
Rubbish overseas stuff.
Yeah, not Okay,
Oi,
so
it's a $200 Australian coin.
yeah,
A
in
Kruger.
not as new condition yet. And I'll pop these on camera.
So have they painted them black?
No, these have actually gone through the bushfires of 2009.
Ah.
So we were talking about, and I still get, like, it still blows my mind. Like, over a year and a half, we did the video on go bags and
Yep.
different scenarios, and we still get comments on that. I thought this was interesting to bring and highlight. This was through an Aussie bushfire.
So you can see this one's a Kruger ant. It's a gold Kruger.
Yeah.
I don't know if the camera will pick up on it, but it's basically black. And it's not paint this time.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised if they've been through some of the stuff we saw after the bushfires was actually just a solidified puddle
Yes.
of gold or silver or a combination with sticks and ash and all sorts of stuff mixed into them.
The customer bought this from, it was their parents' property.
Yep.
And he said they had 2 half kilos of gold, and one ended up as a molten puddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the great thing, and this is one of the things that beats numismatics every day of the week, is even though your whole stack has just turned into a solidified molten puddle, you dig it up, you bring it into Bullion Now, we send it off to the refiner, and, you know, a fortnight later, you come back with some beautiful gold bars and silver bars and all the crud's taken out of it, and it's all been refined. And yeah, sure, it'll cost you a couple of $100 to get it done, but your stack is back, and it's worth as much as it was prior to the fire when it got melted. So, like, you can't say that about a house. You can't say that about my numismatic collection. You can't say that about a lot of other assets that you invest into. But gold and silver, particularly, very, 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 very difficult to destroy.
Yeah, I thought he was just so interesting, and had a nice chat with him as well, while processing the buyback. But yeah, it's just something that really hits home as well. Like for everything you've mentioned just now, and it still holds its value. And I personally like these older pieces with history like this. You know, knowing where it comes from, like your story from a customer that had the sovereign sewn into the bomber jacket. While flying over, during the war. So, anyway, I thought it was interesting to highlight as well. So I brought that in.
It's a great thing to do. So, So if you want a Kruger ant that has been through the 09 fires, we actually have one in stock.
Or
as we speak.
koalas.
Yeah, $200 koalas.
Yeah.
So you brought down more exciting stuff than I did. I just wanted to. I have no good reason to bring these down other than the fact that I really, really, really like them. So these are. I got to say, Pamp is with their bars. I don't think you can beat them with the design on their bars. So these two came in. These are actually buybacks, and they come in what us old folks would call cassettes. I don't know, Deej, what would you call these?
I would still go with the video cassettes.
No.
Oh, video.
Don't
See,
lie.
I'm thinking tape deck.
He'd go with a Pokemon card holder.
I'll go with that. I would 100% go with that.
Yeah, so they come in these plastic packages. I don't know if we can get them close to the camera so you can see, but the one on this side is a 10-ounce gold bar.
Can I hold it? Because you're already stressing me out.
So it's a gold bar and it's a platinum bar, believe it or not, is the other one. And they come with certificates and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But they're just a beautiful 8-track cartridges. I can appreciate that too. But they are just, even as buybacks, they are just beautiful bars, the way they're designed.
And look at the stands. See the nice display pieces in and of themselves.
Yeah, and you can even open them up. I probably shouldn't do it on camera after the UFO disaster.
Yeah.
I won't open them on camera, but you can open them up and have a look and all that sort of stuff. But they're 10-ounce ones. We see them through semi-frequently, but they're just some refineries, some mints just produce gold bars, and gold bars are beautiful. Don't get me wrong, I love them. I think they're great. Even the mouldy old, in fact, particularly the mouldy oldie ones, I really like. But some of the refineries just go that extra mile, and they produce these almost pieces of art on their bullion-based bars. And Pamp is certainly at the head of that field with their Lady Fortunas.
So to answer Brian Smythe, sorry, he was asking. Yeah, they're both 10-ounce bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just incredibly beautiful bars, but yeah. That's the only reason I brought them down, was just to show them off.
No, thank you. And if my Tats Lotto comes tomorrow, I'll pick them both up because I've got the 10-ounce in the silver.
Oh, you've
But
got to have them.
This would be.
You've got to have the matching triplet, mate.
Did they do a palladium as well?
I don't know if they did it in the 10-ounce. I'd have to look that one up.
Yeah. Okay. Right,
They
we'll see.
certainly do the triplet.
Well, if,
I'll even give you a good rate on it, mate.
thank you. Well, I don't care what the rate is if jackpot hits tomorrow night, but yeah.
Oh dear, good fun. All right, what else have we got in the questions?
Is a good question. Let's have a quick squiz.
There was a few questions about the paint on this, and the bars themselves. Absolutely, we pay spot for them.
I was about to say, there was a joke about it. Do you still pay spot, including the paint weight?
Well, no, we don't. I suppose we don't pay for the paint weight. We make sure it weighs a kilo at least. But yeah, we paid spot for them, and that's. I often tell this story where we've got a customer. He's a plumber, and he comes in semi-frequently, and he'll convert his cash over to usually silver bars. He sometimes buys gold, but quite often it's silver bars. And he takes them home, and he literally gets his backhoe out, and he digs a nice deep hole. He's on a few acres. Digs a nice deep hole. He throws the bars in the bottom of the hole, covers them back up again, and settles them down there and leaves them there. And then one day he'll decide that he's got a need for some cash, some dollars. So he'll get the backhoe out. He'll dig them up. Occasionally he brushes the clay off. We're teaching him slowly, but they've absorbed all these colours from the minerals and the moisture and all that's in the ground, because he doesn't cover them or anything. He literally throws them into the dirt in the hole. He sometimes brushes the clay off. He puts them in a toolbox. He walks in, dumps them on the counter. And we all go, oh man, gonna have to clean the counter now. Dumps them on the counter. We XRF them all, check their weight, and we pay them out. Pay them straight out to him, and he gets spot price. We've got another customer who, I'm not kidding you, he buys the bars, and I don't know what he does to them, but when they come back, they are in better than brand new condition. You almost got to wear sunglasses just to look at the bars. They are so shiny and bright, and he loves these things. And it's almost like departing with a child when he sells them back to us. But he sells them back to us occasionally, and we pay spot.
Yep.
We don't care what condition they're in. They are literally from the mouldy oldest bar you can imagine through to the most shiny brand new bar that you've ever seen. We pay spot for that. Yes, there's an asterisk next to that with, if they're a massive size, it's up for negotiation, or if there's a massive amount, and that's all on our website. We don't try to hide it.
50 kilos per person per week.
Yeah, in silver, and 100 ounce in size, in individual bar size, and which is a bit over 3 kilos. And then on the flip side for gold, it is 50 ounces, I think it is, per week. Largest size of an individual bar or coin being 100 grams. So, yeah.
One thing here, just a comment. Where is it? Who was it saying? The
XRF does work through the paint.
Yeah. Someone saying they wanted the 10-ounce platinum. They'd love one, but alas, I know how you feel. But you can get smaller ones. They do make them in smaller sizes, and even the really small ones, like the 5 gram platinum minted bar, the detail on it is pretty amazing, isn't it? Like even when you go in smaller, and I've seen smaller ones as well, the 1 grams.
We're getting
pretty good, but
we're getting some 1 gram palladium bars in.
And why are you getting those, Michael? Was it because I've been hassling Adzi for like over a year now? I think
might have something to do with it.
Yeah, nice. All right, very cool. Very cool. Thank you for the confirmation.
But even the 1 gram platinum bars are beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't seen them. I know. Yeah.
No, we've had them in stock. Where you been?
Oh, sorry. Platinum is what I'm talking about. Palladium. Yeah.
No, we haven't had the 1 gram palladiums in before.
Yeah.
This will be. I haven't seen them before. I'm interested to see how they come out. I'm really interested to see what the premium's going to be like by the time we land them.
Oh, you won't be interested to see them because I saw them, and that's why it took me over a year of hassling Adzi to bring some in, but yeah.
Yeah, I suspect you're 100% right. I think they absolutely will be quite a high premium item, but yeah, it'd be good fun. Metal 3690, that's an easy one. We do not sell the Perth Mint empty coin tubes or monster boxes. However, having said that, if you come into the store, you can pick one up for free. And I know everyone that's not kind of in the Melbourne or Victoria area are all groaning now saying, well, I can't get in there. We don't tend to post those things out because we get caught out every time because whenever you ship things out, it goes on a combination of two things. One's weight and then one is cubic size. And as soon as, you buy you buy 2 kangaroos and you say, can you throw in one of those free monster boxes? And we've charged you $17.50 for the 2 kangaroos to be sent through to you. And then you'll find that when we roll up to package it up into a monster box and send the free monster box out to you, it'll increase the postage to $30, $40, $50 purely because the cube size on it. In fact, if we're sending it to the Northern Territory, it's even more than that. It can blow it out to $100 just because we've got a monster box in there. And then people think we're price gouging them because we're charging them $100 to send out a free monster box, and it just gets ugly. So we don't send out the empty coin tubes or the monster boxes any longer. But if you're in store, absolutely, you wander in there one day and just say, look, I'd love it if you've got any spare coin tubes or monster boxes. And it would be an unusual day where the guys don't say, absolutely, have you got a specific type you're after or a specific couple of types that you're after? And we might be able to find 1 or 2 of those for you. Because we've always, we go through a lot of monster boxes and even the tubes.
Yeah, so it's always dependent on what we have as well at the time. Yeah. I know, we have so many kangaroos, but the kangaroo tubes, we tend to have less of the tubes, even though there's 10 of them in one monster box than the monster boxes. And that's because also we'll send out, there's 25 kangaroo coins per tube. And if you buy around 10 or more coins, we'll leave them in the tube, so send them off. So, and then there's other people who are requesting them, and they're a bit wider than the other tubes, so they need the kanga tubes for the kangaroo coins. So, it is dependent on it, but when I pick and process the orders, all the online orders, read the notes, and we'll always endeavour to put in whatever we have. Yeah.
So, look, that is the other way to get hold of a tube or a monster box, and that's to order a tube or monster box full of coins.
Yeah.
And you'll find yourself with a monster box. Calypso Moon, we can't do that right at the moment, but it is absolutely something in our planning. So Calypso's asking about being able to buy $200 worth of unallocated gold or silver or something along those lines every fortnight. It's certainly in our upgrade plans, but it's absolutely not there yet, unfortunately.
Yes, don't tell Michael, but that is a topic of conversation I'll be bringing up with him sometime, because I've had a few people in the shop this week as well, and privately people that know that I work in the industry, work for Bullion Now, and they're asking about it, particularly for the children, and say, "Hey, I want to have a regular account," and I do tell them it's on the cards, but it's going to be part of the new system.
Yeah. We will get there. Won't happen overnight, but it will happen.
Alex, did you want to go through your little images you sent me earlier?
Yes. If we're done, and then we'll go through the... Actually, no, we'll do one more show and tell, and then we'll jump on to...
This was just in case we could slide in a sneaky auction. But,
okay. You know what? I'm going to save everyone the trouble and say no, because there's... Oh, look, if DJ's up for it...
No. We'll do your photos first. Don't worry.
Well, let's go for the photo.
No one wants the auction.
Don't post them all... Don't post them all at once. No, if you can just do the one with the bars.
The bars? Yeah.
Yeah. And you pop that up.
Bars going on
all right. So I purchased these back from a gentleman this week.
Who did got them around all the same way, mate. You're doing my OCD in.
All right. So next time there's lines queuing out the gazoo, it'll be even longer queues if I try and sort them out. I know it's doing my OCD a bit in, but I bought these 30, I believe it was 30 10-gram bars from a gentleman who's going overseas. And I thought it was interesting talking to him because he was a bit reluctant to sell them. He didn't want to sell them, but he's going to, I believe it is Norway. And he was telling me that they're putting a 25% sales or purchasing tax in Norway on the gold bars.
Seriously?
So if you, now if you, do you want to put the coins up?
What if I take them into the country? Are they going to hit me at the border?
No, I don't think so. I think it's if you're gonna buy and sell like that. Okay. Then see that, and he showed me these. I'll put him like. In that he likes the feel of gold, gold. So that's actually my hand. He was. So the coins are exempt.
Oh, really?
It's the gold bars. And now if you flick up the third one...
so what about a round?
Oh, you're going to have to argue in a foreign language, I believe. Is it Denmark?
This is the image you sent me.
Yes. Is it tax in Denmark? It's either Denmark or Norway. I was rushing late, as you know, so I may have sent that wrong one, but you can take that one off now. But yeah, it just goes to show, like, if you're taking your bullion from wherever you are and you're relocating to live, just make sure you find out the countries, the host country, wherever you're going, their rules and regulations before you bring everything in.
The number of times we have international customers and they'll order something from us and we will ship it out, and then we'll get a nasty gram from them saying, it's hit the border of the country and customs is trying to charge me 25%, VAT in this case on it. And, you didn't tell me. It's like, mate, I can't keep track of every country's rules. And Thailand's just changed all their rules, like the whole box and dice. It's a complete turnover. We just can't keep track of them all. So absolutely, if you're trying to either import or export gold or silver to another country, please check the rules. Don't rely on anyone else to pick up after you for them, because no one can keep up with all the different changes. There's changes every 5 minutes around the world.
Yeah, it's actually sorry, did I send the wrong one? It's actually Norway.
Norway.
So gold and silver coins are sold without VAT. Gold and silver bars carry 25% VAT in Norway.
So gold carries VAT in Norway.
Yeah. I'll send this.
There you go, because a lot of the European countries don't charge VAT on gold.
That's right. So I thought that was really surprising, but that's on. That's on gold and silver bars, not on gold and silver coins.
Yeah.
So again, that's a different.
Yeah. You go to the UK, and again, I saw someone from the UK in here earlier, so they will know far more about it than I do, because I'm just a mug Australian. But I know in the UK, it then starts depending on how old the coin is, who's produced it. If it's over a certain age, then they do tax it. But if it's under that age, they don't. It's like, man, oh man.
That was a great conversation you had with Backyard Bullion. That's worth a watch. Yeah,
it's absolutely
great content.
But confusing.
Yeah,
far out. It was unbelievable.
I'll send that to. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's fascinating to see what other countries do. And the Denmark one you had up a moment ago, that's part of what's caused the chaos through Europe, because they are charging now VAT on, I understand every country in Europe charges VAT now on silver. And it's just killed the market over there to a large degree.
So I'll just send this to DJ if you want to put this up.
To us mug Australians, can you imagine having to pay 25%, what we'd call GST, on every silver bar and coin that you buy? What that would do to anyone trying to buy their silver? I mean, we don't pay any GST on silver bars at all, or gold bars, or silver coins or gold coins if they're bullion grade, bullion investment grade. So, it would just be horrendous if they introduced that here.
Yeah.
We are very fortunate from that one. Aussie Girl, we do have some sovereigns in stock. If they're not up on the website, I will chase them up over this weekend and get some more up.
Okay, great. I'll make a note of that.
Do you think the Aussie government would introduce GST on bullion? Anthony, that is one of my big fears. I don't think they will, but it scares the living daylights out of me, that one. Australians have to pay GST on 22 carat. They absolutely do. Yes. Anything that's not pure investment grade bullion, then yes, you are absolutely paying GST on it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for people
Yeah.
like myself who love the
Well, the Kiwis have
gold
got that
coins.
one right because you don't pay GST on 22 karat coins over there. So the Kiwis are doing that one really well. All good fun. Well, it's 3:45.
Wow.
Have we finished all your photos?
Yes.
So 3:45. So we need to start wrapping this bad boy up, I'd suggest. What do you reckon?
Yes. Rapid fire, because I need to
fire.
rapidly get to my coffee that's now cold from like this morning.
So you've had that was this morning's coffee.
No, that was this morning's. I don't care if it's gone off.
Alex, I used to work in the same office as you. We used to have betting pools of how long you would have your coffees.
What do you remember the longest?
It was over a weekend or something,
No,
wasn't it?
go.
The longest you ever did was 4 days.
4 days,
Yeah.
and that's an almond milk.
Yeah, and then he had to have
Mocha.
2 days off because he
No,
gave
I
himself
did not. I
food
did-
poisoning.
No, that's why. That's how I keep the. That's how I eat like a ton and keep.
It just leaves them sitting there on the bench.
And actually hides them sometimes. I don't even know, and brings them out a day later.
Alrighty, so let's do some rapid fire questions. So this is where if you've asked the question before, we've missed it, or just something you want to pitch out there, we're going to go through as many questions as we can, as quickly as we can, and we'll keep going until we either run out of time, run out of breath, or run out of questions, whichever occurs first.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Metal Inquisitor. Yes, still that coffee. Sorry, we had a chat earlier this morning in the store.
Any chance of seeing more buybacks online? Absolutely. I think they said no auction today. Yeah. Will the icing on the birthday cake incur GST? I'm not getting into that one. When are the Perth Mint Swan Bullions coming out? I believe next month. And it just disappeared off the top of the screen, so I've missed a couple. The box on the desk by 2. Those 2 there, or these ones here.
These ones here.
These ones here we might do
My
next
mind reading
week.
says these ones. Yep.
All right. Yeah, we did that one. When are the Swans coming out? So keep going down. What's happening today? Buying or selling or buying? There's been a lot of selling.
Yep.
Been quite a bit of. Sorry, there's been a lot of buying. And quite a bit of
In,
selling in.
Look, we normally just 2 in the shop. Today we had 5 serving.
Yeah.
4 in and 1 out. And then still collections out, so pretty much 6 serving. With myself, for most of the day being in the shop, I'd say about 70% we were selling and about 30% were buying back.
It was incredibly unprofessional. I was actually serving people on top of 2 cupboards that were stacked on top of each other in a side room. So unprofessional, it wasn't funny, but we were just trying to
But
get
you know
through the
what?
queue.
I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, if I'm waiting in this queues and now it's like, listen, you want to sit in this milk crate? I'll get you gold. I'm like, you tell me what to do. Here's the cash. And
We were in a
that's it,
secluded area, so it's not like sometimes where I've done them in the corridor. It wasn't quite that bad, but it was so unprofessional. It wasn't funny. Alrighty, I think we paid GST on Krugs, Sovs, and Gold Eagles in New Zealand. Okay, my understanding was you didn't pay it on the Sovs, but I'm happy to stand corrected on that.
That'll be interesting to find out, actually, to chase that one up.
Do you provide assay certificates or third-party verification? We don't. If they come with the from the Mint, then we'll provide them. But we don't actually provide them ourselves. But we're happy to do the XRF test in front of you if you wish.
And with the buybacks, sometimes they will come with them, sometimes they won't.
Yeah.
But it's not needed for us. Yeah.
But we're always, always, always happy to test them in front of you anytime you like. With banks being considered an essential thing for towns to survive, would Michael ever consider owning a rural bank bullion location like in Cuba? Absolutely, I would.
Consider? Absolutely, I can tell you now.
Yeah.
Have one?
Look, if it makes financial sense, absolutely we would. Should I be concerned on having more silver than gold, thinking of buying a 1 kilo bar new to metals? No, look,
I'd say, yeah, 1 kilo of gold. That's fantastic.
I think he's talking
No, I
silver.
know, but that would be fantastic.
But look, I don't. It's not an issue. It's whatever you're comfortable with your phase of life. I err towards gold more than I do silver, but that's because I got more grey hair than most people. I'm looking for the stability of gold, although that's laughable the last few months. But gold traditionally gives you stability. Silver gives you far more volatility. If I was 25 years old, I'd probably lean more into platinum and silver than I would gold because I've got the time. I don't care about the volatility. In fact, I welcome the volatility because it means I can make more money out of it. So it just depends on where you are in life, mate.
Or the region, sorry. With my war stories and people around, I still gold.
absolutely.
Like, that's still in top of my list. But
Chance of getting 5 and 10 gram platinum minted bars. Don't we have 5 grammers in at the moment?
We did have PAMP 5s.
I thought we did.
10 grams, unless they're sold out. I'll message myself and I can check after the stream and pop some up.
Yeah. If we don't have them, we are. I know they've been on the conversation between Ads and I about getting some more in. So stay tuned. You might see some more in the very near future. Have you tried C's candy? I have, and I absolutely love it.
What candy?
C's, owned by Berkshire Hathaway. It's an American thing.
No, but this is a good time to send people our postal address. If
you would like to
I'm
send
gonna
us a
memorise
box
this,
of C's
yeah.
candy.
Make sure you keep some to the side. Enough. That's enough said for me.
Do you guys have any of those empty Perth Mint Gold Bar 1 gram assay box, empty or Perth Mint 1 kilo silver? Yes, we do. You just pick them up in the store, mate.
yes,
Buybacks. Yes, we have buybacks. Unfortunately, they don't hit the web enough, but that's usually because they're racing back out the store. And I've said this before. It's seriously, you want to know what the back room's like with buybacks? Go and stand on the beach with a chip in your hand and watch the seagulls attack you. Because that's what it's like. You walk out into the back room with buybacks. It's like, I'll have that, I need that, I'll have that.
Yeah.
And you like 3 seconds later, you're looking at an empty box. It's
especially
crazy.
a seagull from the 605 with a vest and glasses.
Yeah, that's the right. Brett's a shocker for it, isn't he?
Oh.
Yeah. 2025 1/10 gold cooks, not that I'm aware of. Are you getting any more gold combi bars? Yes, we are. Did you limit stock on the website knowing that Trump tariffs would cost? No, we did not. I don't think we limited stock at all. If anyone wants to accuse us of limiting stock, it's due to the fact that we've been so flaming busy that none of us have got time to top up the website. But I was actually doing it this morning, and we'll continue to do it over the weekend. What's the next big release from Perth?
That's a Michael question.
No, I can't even answer that one.
Yeah.
I can't tell you off the top of my head. Left or right? I always prefer left-facing swans to right-facing swans.
Depending. If it's the half-ounce blobs, the half-ounce gold Perth Mint cast bars, I actually prefer the right because you've got a bigger picture of a swan.
No appreciation
I'm a
of
collector.
heritage.
No, that's in my... Okay, the left-facing is in the minted. If you've ever seen a gold left-facing minted bar,
Yep.
they're incredible. That's always... minted bar is always left.
No silver buybacks online at the moment. That's possible, but we'll fix that in the future. What's your take on the... no comment. Okay, look, I'll make a very small comment. I've done quite a lot of work with Bennett's, who were the aviation team. I know the guys over there. They are incredibly, incredibly, incredibly professional. And this is just one of those incredibly sad things. And that's probably about all I'm going to say on that one. Will you be ordering Whistler's chocolate online? I wish. Have you got a date for the Pakenham store opening? Yeah. We'll open it on the 5th. BN bringing in 2025 one. Yes, we are. I don't know when they're arriving. Sorry, can't answer that one. Gold Buffaloes, they are on the list. Hang on a sec, Shaz, on that one. The premium on Gold Buffaloes at the moment is astronomical. I don't know what on earth is going on in the States, but the premium is like, by the time we land them here, I think wholesale landing them here, they're about $250 to $300 over spot. That's insane.
And
for a
that's just on the
buffalo.
buffalo. And we're not even talking about the eagles,
No.
which also carry a 10% GST here. So,
but we're trying to bring in some buffs. But yeah, work with us on that one. It could be a little while because I'm absolutely not paying that level of premium. That's ridiculous. How does ID KYC work when buying an ounce of gold when one day it's below 5K and the next it's above? Mate, it is doing our head in. You cannot believe how much that's doing our head in.
it's not day by day like the other day. It was hour by hour.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Completed bars expected next week. There's an error on the back end of your website. It made me verify my email and number. There is an error with the phone number, so I cannot verify it. Calypso, send us in an email. Sales, is that where you want it to go, Deej?
Yeah, send it into sales.
Yeah, sales at bullionnow.com.au. If you can take screenshots, that makes our life so much easier. But send in, if you can, screenshots and a bit of a burst of what's going on. Send it through to sales. We'll make sure DJ gets hold of it and he'll have a look into it.
The more details, the better when it comes down to these cyber situations, because if I can narrow it down any way, it helps out a lot. So if it might seem small to you, add it in anyways.
We're just trying to get it in the middle, mate. I'm sorry it's hanging over the edge. What was Metal Inquisitor's surprise in the end? Are we allowed to talk about it?
No, we did. That was this. That was the.
You gave him Perth Mint chocolate.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Can you get the formal warning form out, Deej?
I gave him. Actually, this was. I told him. I hope he enjoyed it because this was my young daughter's stolen chocolate. Because I ate all mine like months ago, and this was the last one there. So she hasn't found out yet.
Formal warning on its way.
You know, it was like stealing candy from a baby. It's not that difficult.
Dear, where are we up to? Chance of getting fight. We've already talked about that one. BN needs to become Perth Mint's chocolate retailer. I'd love to. Will Perth Mint start minting half-ounce gold similar to the Pamp Bar? My understanding, and look, I don't work for Perth Mint. I can't speak for them. All those provisos that you want to add to this, my understanding is they're not doing a half-ounce minted, but they are looking at reintroducing the half-ounce cast. But they're looking, I believe they're looking into it. I can't comment on the fact that whether they have made the decision or even if they actually are. It's just the red-hot rumour that I'm hearing. Metal Inquisitor, they would have been in before sold, absolutely. He's already got his silver stack on his head. He's 100% right, Deleta. Go the kilo of silver. It's a beautiful size. It is. Michael, you surprised the Berlin 5-ounce cast bear wasn't sold out, still available. Andrew, they actually did sell out. We sold all of the ones online, and then Ads admitted that he'd hidden 10 down the back for some reason. So we released those this morning. So they actually shouldn't be on there.
But having said that, we had more of the 5-ounce bars than we did of the 1-ounce UV. So that also had something to do with it.
Yeah, we did. But yeah, that was a... I can't call it an error because I'm sure he did it on purpose.
No, he did. Yeah, because...
yeah. That's why there's still some up there because we slid them up there very quietly.
No, we also kept some back just in case people wanted it through the shop, and if there were any double up orders or anything like that. And once that was all processed fine, we put the others up.
Calypso, website's looking light on gold bars. Any plans to restock? Yes, give me 10 minutes of alone time and I'll get to it. Have a guess, end of April, gold higher or lower or about the same price? I would lean towards higher, but the only thing I will guarantee is volatility. What are the most liquid bullion products in your inventory? Easiest to sell later. Look, mate, if you're planning on selling it back to a bullion dealer like us, anything is liquid because you walk in the door, we test it, we make sure it's the correct weight, we pay you out. We don't care if it's a bar or a coin. We don't care if it's mouldy or if it's brand new or anything in between.
If it's got its certificate or not or whatever.
Yeah. So I would say if you're trying to sell back to a bullion dealer, it really doesn't matter. Possibly the only proviso I'd stick on that is if you're getting into the larger sizes. So, kilos of gold, 400-ounce bars of gold, 5, 10 kilo bars of silver. Those types of things you might find bullion dealers balk at it because they're industrial size, they're more designed around refineries and casting, and they can take a little while to move on. But if you're in any of the normal bars and coins, so those the 100-gram bar in the gold or smaller, or 100-ounce bar in silver or smaller, it's a non-issue. Anything in that range will be fine. Queen's Beast bars, sorry, are they due in stock? Yeah, about a week we should have those in. Are them silver kilo with paint on them available for sale? Tyler, they will actually absolutely be available for sale. If you want one, send us an email, sales@bullionnow.com.au. Just say you saw Michael displayed those 3 painted bars. I'd like 1, 2 or 3 of them.
Say it's on Alex's desk.
Yeah. I owe your lovely telecommunications specialist some chocolate to apologise for being so rude a few years back. Don't worry, Calypso. If I come down to Melbourne again, is it possible to pass them off? Yes, absolutely is. Gold buffs we've already talked about. Are the completed bars going to be posted on the website? Yes, they will, and we'll do a YouTube song and dance with them as well. I thought leaning left was mandatory for those living in Victoria. Absolutely not. Anyone going to the Ander show in Brizzy this weekend? Matt will be there. So
is it this weekend?
It's this weekend. So it's one of the reasons he couldn't come in today because he's up in Vegas.
Okay.
So if you happen to be going along to the Ander show in Brisbane this weekend, make sure you find Matt, say good day, and have a great time there. Pick yourself up some bargains. It's always a great show to go to. We're not in May the 4th yet, mate. Thank you again for your time in the store. Much appreciated. Absolutely, Desi, anytime. Did you say 5th of April or 5th of May? No, I just said the 5th on that one.
I already answered that. Yeah. Michael did not specify them. You've got to be careful. Yeah.
Will you be bringing in any of the new Chinese 1 ounce silver dragon bullion coins from the China Mint? I'm going to answer no on that one, Keith, but I know Ads is at me to do it.
Hang on, which one is that?
The Chinese Mint has produced these dragon coins, and they're actually not bad, but I got dragon fatigue on those.
And is it an ounce or is it 30?
Blasphemy.
Oh, okay.
Fatigue? What are you talking about? Get them in. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
We can't bring everything in, and I don't know, but Adsy would like to bring them in. I notice he keeps slipping them onto my screen every couple of days. It's like, do you want these?
All right,
I thought we'd already said no to this.
I'll have a look and I'll probably egg him on to do more of that. Yeah.
No one knows what's going on in the States right now. I think you're correct. Scottsdale were having a dig at US Mint on Twitter the other day. Missed that one. Love the Buffalo design. I do too. I think it's great. Are you coming to the Gold Conference in Sydney, 13th to the 15th of October? Haven't made that decision yet, mate, but we'll certainly, if we get the opportunity...
Sydney, Queensland, is it?
No. This is the Sydney one.
Oh, the Sydney one.
So,
yep.
I'm having a mental blank. I'm sorry to the organiser. Your name's currently escaped because I'm trying to think through these things. No, it'll come to me later. Kerry.
Yeah.
Kerry contacted me at some point and said, because I think I said it was on the Gold Coast. That's a different conference. So there is one in Sydney this year. So I'd like to say we're going to be involved in it, but no one's made that final decision yet. Fauna warming form, yeah, that's right. You surprised? No, we've already gone through that one. So where are we up to, Deej? I'm lost. 20k to spend. We did do that one. Surprised the 5 ounce Berlin bar wasn't sold out, but that was because we found another 10 out the back that Ads was hatching. Could I have some PM chocolate put in my SMSF? Unfortunately not. 20k to spend, but want to pay with Michael's dreaded PayPal. Any movement on that? No, sorry, mate. They did us over big time on that, and we're just not going here ever again. So when a company costs you thousands of dollars, you don't tend to go back real quick. We do have many other payment options, VinZep, so contact us and we can talk it through. Is it possible to sell my silver to you without a problem? I live in NO. I don't know where NO is.
Nor do we.
I don't know, but it's no problem sending it. You've just got to get it to us.
New Orleans, maybe?
Could be. I don't know. If when gold goes above 5k permanently, that's going to put a lot of extra work on dealers. Yes, it is. It's driving us insane.
It already is.
Yeah.
And it's taking longer, and that's why sometimes the queues have been longer as well, because we have to... A lot of people haven't, needed to provide ID before, so they've paid with cash all the time previously. Yeah. So we have to set up an actual account, and that can take some time. And that, with so many throughout the day. Yeah. So just that alone is a bit of a nightmare.
You had a couple of minutes to each transaction, and very quickly it blows out to a queue. And, any chance the government will increase this limit? You are dreaming, in the words of the great... Not the dish, the castle.
No, the castle.
Not just affecting bullion either,
Yeah.
That's correct. Will gold be 5.5 by next Friday's stream? I doubt it, but anything's possible in this crazy market. When is the cargo plane with Germania copper bars arriving? I don't think... You've got to ask Adsy that one, because I'm not a fan of bringing in copper after the heat I copped from the previous one.
Copper, all-time highs, I believe.
There you go. I'll believe you. Where are we at? Thoughts on PM precious metal Dubai style vending machine for the Pakenham store? I would love to do that, mate. We've tried half-heartedly. We've tried a couple of times to organise a vending machine for gold. Yeah. I think it'd be great fun.
Yeah.
We'll get there eventually.
Pakenham store? Yeah. Pakenham station? No.
You sell at spot, they don't here. We buy at spot, we don't. We do sometimes sell at spot. I noticed the pre-decimal stuff, the 50%, that's at spot, I think. So
you said that last week. I didn't even have a chance to check it out.
Yeah. So we do sell some of it.
Well, sometimes there are spot specials on, say, Krugs, or sometimes we do some of the GSC stuff, and throughout the year.
Peter, are you moving many 1,000-ounce silver bars lately? Look, we don't sell a lot of them, but that's probably because we don't encourage the sale of them. I reckon we could sell a lot more if we did. They are a pain in the back to move.
Literally.
Yeah, they're 32 kilos. Everyone hates it. So we don't tend to encourage those sales. We tend to wait till people come to us. Having said that, we do still go through a surprising amount of 1,000-ounce bars. I'm looking for another ton of them now.
Yeah.
Kilo doorstops. Heard Wonka bars in 5 grams silver. Do you have any? No, they sold out many moons ago, Aussie girl. Looking forward to those pillar dollars from the Perth Mint. I don't know. Imagine the buybacks. When will Matt get back online at BN? I don't know, Aussie. He's having a lot of fun running his own shop, so I haven't disturbed him for a while, but I'm sure if there's no Ander on and I invite him over, he'll come on in. I had no idea Ander was this weekend. It is. It's in Brisbane, senor.
It was always a few weeks away, and then this weekend happens just like that.
Yeah,
that's how crazy it's been, yeah.
Drew, you're very welcome, mate. Is first in the series it might be worth getting. Well, I think we're talking about the Chinese Dragon. It is the first. I don't know if it's part of a series, but it's absolutely the first. How much can you sell without forms, or is that just buying? It's just buying. We take ID. No matter what you're selling to us, we take ID. And it's not to report, believe it or not. It's actually for insurance reasons, because if it's proven to not be what we think it is, then we don't. It's not covered by our insurance. Who's in the sales team? May I direct my website issues to? That would be to DJ. You're regretting being here today, aren't you, mate?
No, what are you talking about? Of course not. I love being here. As I say for gritted teeth.
Yeah, so send it to sales@bullionnow.com.au. Address it to DJ, and he will love to hear back from you. The more information, the better, and he just loves it. Metal Inquisitor, I love that Berlin bar. I think you've got a good one there. Hit 400 watching for that. Yep, that's correct. Love your work, guys. Thank you very much for that.
Thank
I
you.
used Carrier Pigeon before PayPal. I'm right there with you, Sierra. Little coin shop. Get any Liberty, Solar, Storm 1 ounce silver coins. Try and say that in a hurry. They look amazing. They do. I don't think we are getting any in though, unfortunately.
Sorry, I'm still thinking about courier pigeons. It'll be great having them between Pakenham and CBD. We could
a lot of people lining up shotguns.
Think about EMF goes out. We still have communications going.
Kevin, you're correct. It's doing our head in that gold over 5,000 an ounce now. You're welcome, Corey. I've sent the email with the header, DJ. Yep, he'll look after that. No worries at all. Have a great weekend. I think we're wrapping it up now. Just put it under the security camera. Thanks, guys. Need no load. BN friend, 1 ounce pamp, varied minus 400 under stock. I don't have time, Peter, but if you want to bring that one up next week, I'd really like to bang on about that. People buying things under spot. I know it sounds like a bargain, but invariably it turns out to be gold-plated copper.
Dealt with a few of those, unfortunately.
Yeah, way too many of those. You're welcome, Kevin. I think we're going to draw it to a close there. Thank you, everyone. We are blown straight through 4 o'clock. As I say each week, this would be nothing if it wasn't for you guys tuning in. So I can't, honestly, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And we all look forward, well, the guys in the shop don't look forward to the live stream because they're a couple of men down. But we all really, the rest of us really enjoy doing the live stream. So we really appreciate the fact that you guys spend the time either listening to us live like you have right now or listen to us later on like you might be doing right now. It's just really encouraging to see the amount of support we get, the comments that are made, all those great things, and we just really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, echo that. And just a big shout out and thank you to everyone throughout the week who's come in the store and left, talk to me and just introduce themselves, and all the positive comments and comments online. It is really appreciated, and we do try. So thank you very much for that. And for
and all
watching.
The people who don't. Like, we encourage people to join into the chat, but a lot of people, they're listening while they're, doing the dishes or mowing the lawn or whatever, and they can't join in the chat. We really appreciate those people, even though they can't, join in.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Metal Inquisitor was the only one this week that I've met that comments and is online, in the chat and afterwards. But everyone else does not, they read, they follow along, but they don't. But, those comments and the conversation we've had, I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
But even the fact that people are watching, like even though, commenting, we're noticing that the people are there and you're a big part of this as well.
So thank you.
Thank you very, very much for that. Thanks, DJ, for filling in for Rubes. We think he's back next week.
I was about to say, next week, if Ruben's back, can you guys make sure to mention that both streams I was on, we cracked over 300. Just make sure he knows that.
All right. I'll let Matt know as well. I'm still due to see him.
Yeah,
His shots.
right. Yeah. Thanks, Alex, for joining in and making it fun and games.
Thank you for getting me out of the store this crazy week and giving me a bit of a breather, even without the coffee. But
yeah, Andrew, we need to catch up again very, very soon, mate. Thank you, everyone. Have a really safe weekend. Don't forget Andrew in Brisbane this weekend. There is the motor show on in Melbourne, which I might be sneaking along to with one of my sons, who's very, very keen on going. And just whatever you do, stick around with the family, give them a hug, and have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
And we will see you next week for lots of fun and games and antics and all sorts of things that go on around the Bullion Now family.
hopefully with a coffee.
A fresh one.
Oh, it doesn't matter. See you guys.
See ya.